What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another tutorial with FB Designs. I am Rob, your host, and tonight we are going to be creating a text to sand transition. So let's get started. Let's jump on over to After Effects. We want to start out, as always, by creating a new comp. You can name this whatever. I will name it main, 1920 by 1080, 30 frames a second. Let's take this and drop this down to 5 seconds just so when we preview it, it's already short. Click OK. Next, let's go to our text. You can use any font for this. There's no specific font to use for this, but I happen to like Book Jacket a lot, so we'll go ahead and use this, and we'll go, let's see, text to sand. Yeah, something like that. Let's highlight it all, make it a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Go to our line, get it into the middle of our composition, something like that. We will go ahead and change this color. You can make this whatever color you want. I'll go with white. I know it's not like the preview, but again, you don't have to make it exactly as I did in the preview. I encourage that you don't. And what I did for the preview was I added a little bit of bevel alpha. Let's throw this on there. We can turn this up to, I don't know, let's say 14-ish, 13, 14, something like that. We'll change the light over to 90 degrees. Again, this is all preference. You don't have to follow exactly what I do here. And you can even change the light color. Let's give it a little bit of a gold. That really didn't do anything, but okay, well. It's turning to purple. Okay, so we'll go back to leaving that 40%. We'll change that color back to white. Because like I said, it really doesn't matter for this tutorial. So let's go back to white. That works just fine. Something like that. Okay. Next, what we want to do is duplicate this copy. You can get rid of the bevel alpha. And we want to add CC comp. Throw it on that top copy. We'll leave the settings just the way they are. You'll see why here in a minute. Okay, next we're going to go to our particles. And this is, again, straight out of what you would get with After Effects. No special plugins needed. And we will add it to this top copy. And in here is where we're going to make the magic happen. Also, you want to go to your text, go to your pan behind tool up here, and get your so let's recopy this one again, so that way we got that. Okay, now we'll go ahead and control D to copy that again. We'll take away, I'm going to leave that bevel alpha in there, and I'll show you the reason why we used CC composite in this. Well, here, we'll do the CC particles first. And you'll see why we use the CC composite. Okay, now if you drag through this, it didn't do it this for some reason. Usually it makes a box around here. Oh, okay, this is why. Because we still had the bevel alpha on there. And in order to get rid of this box, you need to do the CC composite. Like so. And take it and drag it to the top of the particles. And now you can see all the particles. Okay, so with that being done, let's go through some of these settings. We're going to change our birth rate to 50. So we're really going to up those particles. Don't worry, we'll be dealing with those here pretty soon. We're going to go with a radius or longevity of 4.0. We want a radius Y of 13. Ooh, okay. Ah, come on. Okay, let's drop down our physics. We want to change it from explosive to fractal exposure. Velocity, we are going to change this to 0.5. Velocity inherit, we are going to change to 40%. Gravity is going to be negative 0.3. Resistance, we want to set this up to about 20. Okay, this direction. Now this direction is a little bit weird for the CC particles, because if you notice, it changed it to 270 but took the one out that was over here, so kind of got to do it twice. I have no idea why, but you just do. Extra, we want to turn this up to 2. It fills it out a little bit more. Okay, next we want to drop down particle. Almost all of this is fine except for max opacity. We want to drop this down to 22%. And here is where the magic starts. The source alpha inheritance. Right there. So now if we scroll back. Oh, okay. Go back to the beginning of your timeline. Go to your position. Go to 0. And what it just did was move the anchor point all the way over to the left side of your composition. And now what we want to do is we want to keyframe this from here. Go forward to about 2 seconds. And go to 1920. And there we go. Now, as you notice, the particles don't start until it touches that text. And that's because of this setting right here, the source alpha inheritance. So that's why. That's why it's important that you click that off. And there you go. Now, you could change this yellow to a little bit more of a darker orange if you want to. It all depends on the color of sand that you want. This is strictly preference here. You can take this red here and make it a little bit more of a yellowish color. And then as it goes out, you won't see so much red in here in the particles anymore. Okay, so on to the next step. We want to go down to our bottom copy here. And we want to go to linear white. Drag that to our bottom copy. What you want to do is hit U on your top copy so we can see our keyframes. And hit U on our bottom copy. Well, there's no keyframes there yet, so. Okay. Sometimes I'll bring our feather up to 50 so it's nice and smooth as it goes through. Older copies of Windows, or I'm sorry, of After Effects, you may have to switch your angle from -90 to +90. I'm on the CC 17.2, so I'm up to date on my After Effects, but you may, like I said, you may have to change this to the opposite. Okay, so we want to keyframe the transition completion. Go up to our end keyframe for our particle system and make this 100. And there we go. Let's RAM preview this. Pretty simple. You could basically use the same method for doing it for a logo. It doesn't have to be text. Let's go into let's go into our character here. Let's change this to, I don't know. How about, let's spice this up a little bit. There we go. Something like that. And there we go. Text to sand. Just like that. Okay, now in the preview, I added I always spell that wrong. Let's see, I think I added a gradient ramp from Red Giant. Or it was a gradient background. Again, this is strictly, helps if we make a background. Right click, go to new, go to solid. We will name this BG for background. Click OK. We will put this below everything else. Next, we could take, here we go. And, what happened here? Oh, okay. That was a little too quick, so again, let's drag this down to the bottom. Take this, drag it onto our background. And I just went in and picked one that seemed pretty cool with the background I already had going. I don't even think this was any of them here. It could be. Let's see. But again, this is, strictly preference. So let's delete this. It wasn't a gradient ramp, but yeah, I think it was. I just don't remember which one I picked. Choose a preset. I think it was a fractal noise background is what I used. Let me see. Or I took one of these and just changed the fractal noise in the background. Anyway, like I said, that's all preference. We could change our color map to, I don't know, let's say, let's do more of like a gold color. change this to more of a reddish color so we can see the sand as it goes by. And then we'll go more of a yellow up top, something like that. Be creative with it. Let's RAM preview this. And there we go. Text to sand. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please give me a like and subscribe. And see you on the next tutorial. Take care.